It's my best friend's birthday today. And I'm a bit big to be saying best friend, but she's my best friend. I've known her forever. I've known her longer than I've known my younger brother. My younger brother's only 2 years younger than me. And I've known her longer than that. So, and it's her birthday today. So, shout out to you, Kate, on your birthday. What a glorious day this is. I give a lot of thanks for this day. A lot of thanks for her. She's one of the most beautiful people that I know. Hey Janice, how you doing? Come today to do some live readings. Happy to see you here. Where are you, Janice? Where are you in the world? Where are you? My name is Bridgitte. I am from the UK. I live in Spain. Sunny Spain, although it's windy. I'm not sure you might hear my chime going on in the back. Wow, you're in Peru. Wow. Nice. Peru, are you from Peru? Or you're just there? Wow, nice one. You went to Madrid and you loved it. Madrid is very nice. Hello, Chris. Peruvian. You live in the capital. Wow. Nice. We have quite a lot of Peruvian. I didn't even know. I would just say you're from Peru. Peruvian. It sounds so nice. We've got quite a few Peruvian people here in Spain. They all tend to work for, well, there's not quite a few yet, but the ones that I do notice that are here all work for the telephone people. Come and do the wires for the telephones when you got a problem for the telephones. That's their job in Spain. The ones that I've known, you know, you go to different places and it's like there's very specific people that have very specific jobs. It's very interesting, these kind of things for me. And like I said, the Peruvians that I've met here, that's their job here. So I am here to do, it is interesting, it is. I'm here to do live readings. So if you would like a reading, let me know. I look like a ghost, really tired. Thank you, Eastman. Thank you, a ghost. A ghost, but a ghost is really pale. Am I looking really pale? I think I'm looking really nice. My eyes are a bit black though, but I mean, that's all right. Janice, did you move? The background is different. I've not moved. I'm in the same house. It's just that I'm not in the office. Because I've got space, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to squeeze myself into the office when there's nobody at home with me. I can go anywhere I want. So that's what I've been doing. I've been coming to my living room. Well, my kitchen, actually. And I've been doing the readings from my kitchen rather than from my office. Although Friday I did do them from the office. And I had my rainbow behind me. And it was really nice. I enjoyed it. Scared that you may strangle your neck. I'm a lover, not a hater, mate. I'm a lover, not a hater. I'm reading rainbow and I'm saying rainbow, I am a rainbow. Hey, gorgeous. You missed the rainbow. The rainbow's still there, don't worry. You'll find lots of videos with the rainbow still there. All right, so anybody would like a reading, I will come to you. Janice. I'm trying to, I saw that you asked for a reading. I was trying to remember if I'd done one for you already. Have I done a reading for you already, Janice? I start writing names down so I remember. But I don't like coming back to people. I did once. Okay. I prefer not to come back to people that I've done when it's not that long ago that I've done a reading, because for me, the readings they're a lot of information. It's a lot of work that you have to do to be able to overcome the things that I may have mentioned in the reading. I don't have a clue what I mentioned, by the way. But I personally, for me, it's a lot of work to get over any of the things that I said. So I like to leave space between my readings for people. Not to say that I won't come to you, Janice, but maybe a bit later I'll come to you. Gorgeous. I like the name because it's like, hey, gorgeous, how you doing, gorgeous? Constantly for the whole day you're being called gorgeous. It's nice, no? Yeah. That's an affirmation that will just happen for you. I'm going to come to you, gorgeous. Let's take the cards out. I use two standard deck of cards. I use two different ones because they have different this has 4 hearts on the side. This has 2. So let's say this was a 3. Then this would have 2. That makes it a 5. 3 and 2 is 5. If this was a 3 and it has the 4, then it becomes 7. So it brings us to different amounts, and that's what I like. I like the different amounts because they give different stories, different messages. So I use whatever one I feel guided to at the time, both sometimes. We've also got the Show Me cards, which are based on the energy animals that I see. And we also have the calabash full of messages, names, songs, quotes, and energy animals. So I am going to come to gorgeous. My husband's got this mirror. It's a magic mirror. It's like an interactive mirror that it's like for parties that you can stand there and get an instant picture. It's like I don't know what they called it, a photo booth. A photo booth. Yeah, that's what they called in English. Photo booth. Yeah. So whenever I'm saying gorgeous, I'm hearing this thing because it's got all these little things that it says as you're walking past it to get people's attention. And one of the things is, you're gorgeous. It's really funny. Anyway, gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. 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 May this reading be the highest good of gorgeous. May you receive the information you need and may be open to receiving it. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, something's got my attention for you. It's actually a reflection of something behind me. Let me sit with that for a minute because it's of a reflection behind me. It's like, hey Betty, all right, it's like what I'm seeing. I'll explain what I'm seeing and then the feeling that it's bringing to me, because as much as I use these things to read, everything actually speaks. Everything speaks to me anyway. Everything has the possibility of speaking. And at the moment, the door handle is speaking to me. The door handle on the door behind me is speaking. It's really got my attention. And what I'm seeing is actually double door handles. It's not, the reflection isn't clear. It's creating like a double vision. So while I was shuffling, I was sitting with that for it to be able to explain what it is that it wants to share. I get this feeling that it's really interesting because it's one door, but it's got these two handles. And I feel like you're struggling with a decision. It could be or what door to take, which is like a choice. So you're struggling with a choice of which one to take. But it feels like either one leads you to the same place, which is really odd. It's really odd. But that's what it feels like. Either one is leading you to the same place. You're going to get to what it is that you're wanting. It definitely feels like an opportunity because there's the door. Feels like a number 9. When I think of a door, and the number 9 always comes to my mind. The number 9 is somebody that is an extremely independent person and does have opportunities around them. The opportunities generally come from the manifestation that comes. So a number 9 has come from a number 8. The number 8 is a manifestation has come to you. The number 9 is the opportunities that come because of this manifestation. And these opportunities, like I said, I feel like there's 2 of them for you, but I feel like they're taking you to the same place. The thing about the 9 is it's very independent. And because it's very independent, it's not just because it's very independent. It is very independent, but it's also somebody that's experienced a lot of hurt, somebody that's been let down, hurt, lied to, cheated on, abused. So it could be that there's this reluctance to go to anything because there's this idea that but you'll always end up back in the same place. These people are going to let you down. They're going to lie to you. They're going to cheat on you. It's not going to be what you're expecting. Liked to. Yeah, so it's kind of got this feeling of the number 9 that it's new subbed. What's subbed? Yeah, that you've got this new choice in your life, but you're struggling with the choice because you're using a lot of old emotion and thoughts to, you liked it alive. You're using your old emotions and thoughts to be able to make this new decision, which are not necessarily helpful because old emotions and old thoughts will keep you in a similar pattern to what you've been in. But this is newer opportunities. This is something different to what you've been in. So there has to be a walk towards something different to what you've done before. And that's what this door feels like. But it does feel like there's 2 options, and the 2 options are both bringing you to the same place. Let's see what you'll look at that. Look, I can only see one card. I haven't looked down at them since I shuffled because I was seeing this door handle and I wanted to understand that before I got here. But we have the 8, the 8 of diamonds as well. So the 8 of diamonds is a manifestation around career or finance. It could be, I'll open these ones in a minute. It could be outside of these, but these are kind of the big things. It is different, both are prosperous. There you go. So this is definitely prosperous with the 8. The 8 is the manifestation. I feel like you've received this already, or if you haven't, then it's so close to you. The 8 is a message of universally inspired changes. It's when the universe is bringing you the manifestations that you've asked for. You have wanted changes to come in your life, and now the universe is bringing them. This will be around having a child, getting married, studying, traveling, buying a house. There's one more, isn't there? There's 7 of them. What are they? Having a child, getting married, starting your own business, changing your job, traveling, studying, buying a house. That's it. So it's going to be something, it's a big thing in your life. It's also something, when the 8 comes, it's also something that sometimes it's something that needs to come out of your life to be able to bring in this thing. But either way, it's always something that will make you smile in the end, because it is a blessing. This is a blessing that you have. Yeah. Wow, another 8. This is 4, but if you look on it, it's got 8 diamonds. This is another 8. 4 is that you made a decision. Let's say, for example, this was... You said it's a combo, so I'm going to move with your combo. Let's say, for example, it was a decision, and I don't know what your thing is, your combo. I'm just making my own combo up. Let's say your combo was you wanted to get married and have a child. So you made a decision to create that. You put some work in, which is the number 7, and now the manifestation is coming. You are getting married and you're pregnant. This is just an example. But the 4 for me is a decision that you've made. It's a decision. It's really nice as well, because I did think about the 3 when I turned this over, but I left it alone. But I'm coming back to it, because I feel that the decision you made was to be, whatever it was that you're moving towards is bringing you closer to who you are authentically, which is a beautiful place. Beautiful place. Because of the 3. It's like you've been looking for something outside of yourself, and now there's something within you that you've connected to, that you know, yeah, this is me. This is what I'm about. And you made that decision to walk towards it, and now you have the manifestation of it. And the 5. We got 3, 4, 5. All right, so the 5 of hearts is a message around relationships. This could be with yourself, a partner, family, friends, colleagues. You're on the right path now, living out your purpose, yeah, and you're definitely being authentic to self. The message for you, this is like what you're experiencing now, a decision, a manifestation of it, you moving towards your dreams. Your advice, because the 4 is somebody that when you make a decision, you can struggle with, did I make the right decision? Was it the right decision? Was I a bit too rash with this decision? Maybe I shouldn't have done this. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe would have, could have, should have. It can be doubtful of the decision it's made. But these 2 for me feel quite good. But with this 5 next door to the 4, it's kind of like there's a bit of imbalance going on. The 5 is a message of balance. Yeah, the 9 come out. I knew a 9 would come out. I spoke about the 8 as well. Let's put the 5 on this side, because this is where I feel that you are now, here. You've done the 4, you've got the 8, and now you're on the 5 and 9. So the 9 was like I explained earlier with these 2 door handles that I'm seeing. It's like we can move towards, with this manifestation that's come, it's moving you to somewhere else. You get the 9, the opportunities, it takes you to the 1, a new 1, which is that there's changes that are happening within your world, changes that are happening within you. But what can happen is you get to the 8, the manifestation, you get to the 9, the opportunities, but trauma, ideas of being hurt, ideas of being let down, ideas of it not working, that kind of idea can get in the way of actually walking towards the opportunities. So this is asking you, as a way of going through what you're experiencing, to balance yourself. Put yourself in nature, around water, meditate, in gratitude mode. Put yourself in gratitude mode of what you have in your life to be grateful for, rather than what isn't working at the moment, because this is really easy to get lost in what isn't working. It could be very easy to get lost in, and you may have some days that you're quite high and yay, I know it's coming. I can feel it. I can feel it. And you may have other days that I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where it is. And I don't know that it's coming. And I just don't know. I don't know. And I don't know. But this is the balance, bringing yourself to the balance to help yourself with having made these decisions to bring you to this place of opportunity. It's very, very nice. It's a very simple message for you as well. Very. And that door handle gave me the 8 and 9. Really nice. Thank you. And the fact that I'm seeing 2 as well, I'm going to tell you about the 2 because for some reason it just highlighted in my mind the 2, which is all about connection to source. That also helps with the 5. Connecting to source, not being so connected to, well, not being connected to physical self, but also equally balanced to energetic self. I just left a physical and verbally abusive relationship. I'm extremely grateful and thankful for everything I have. Yeah, that makes so much sense to this because that is the 8 you've just left. You made a decision a while ago to do this though. A little while ago. It doesn't have to be a long while. For me, the 4 is kind of like within 6 months. You make a decision and you go after that decision. So you made that decision, the manifestation come, you leaving, and now it's about you putting yourself into balance so that you're able to really move towards the opportunities that are coming towards you. And there's many. This is like, it's divine. When the 8 and there's 2 8s. There's 2 8s. It's not just 1 8. These are 2 8s. When the 8 comes out, it's just so beautiful because the 8 is universally inspired changes. It's about the universe bringing to you closer to the things that you have wanted. So for example, like I was saying, the universe can get rid of some things if it's not working. If what you have in your life is not going to be able to bring you what it is that you're looking for, it will get rid of that stuff for you so that it can bring in what it is that you're wanting. So let's say, I mean, it's not hearts, but you have hearts for a relationship, which is yourself. It could be yourself, a partner, family, friends, colleagues. For this, it's yourself. And bringing yourself to the balance over how you're feeling about the situation, how you're feeling about yourself, how you're feeling about the relationship, and moving beyond that. And yeah, definitely feeling grateful, which is what you're feeling. This is bringing in a lot of beautiful things into your life. You're very powerful. You made a really firm decision and you moved with it with might. And now it's about you bringing yourself to balance so that you're able to continue walking forward without getting too lost in yourself, because the 9 can get lost in itself. It withdraws and it pushes people away because it doesn't want to get hurt again and doesn't want to be let down again by people. But there's not only bad people in the world, there are many beautiful people in the world, and trust that you are moving into a world where you're meeting beautiful people, because that's what this is showing me. Yeah. You do withdraw and isolate. It makes sense that you withdraw and isolate because it's the 9. The 9 does that. And it's not something that you've just learnt to do now. It's something you've always done because you grew up, the 9 for me grew up in a house where it had people, it just had difficult experiences. It had people that you didn't necessarily feel connected to. And I'm talking about within your family or whatever it was that you grew up in. It wasn't the healthiest environment for you. So you learnt to be that loner. You learnt to depend on self. You became super independent. But in that independence, sometimes we shut others off but I can do it myself. I can do it myself. I can do it myself. So there's not a lot of asking for help. There's not a lot of being able to receive help, even if someone asks you for help. And that's the thing about the 9, or this kind of behavior limits the opportunities that come to you because there is this withdrawal. That's probably why I spoke about the 2 as well, because the 2 is about you connecting to source. And when we connect to source, we feel that love. But when we connect to human self, sometimes there is a lonely feeling because you don't necessarily have people around you, or you've learned to live alone. Alone is not lonely though. Alone can be a beautiful place. I spend most of my day alone and I love it, but I'm not lonely. So, been doing it since a child, yeah. So basically, this is like a new stage for you. This is asking you to rebalance yourself so that you go through this differently to what you've experienced before. You change the cycle that you've experienced so that you're not walking ahead, meeting new people, expecting the same treatment from them people that you've already had. You just expect to be treated well because you're worthy of that. And that's what this is moving you towards. It's really nice. It's very when you're alone, you're not lonely. Yeah. So the 9, it is a more difficult number to deal with because it is so emotional. The 9 is an extremely emotional person, and the emotions are very they've been held on to for such a long time that it means that the habit to you to act in certain ways. So it's really about you. I feel like you're there already though. You're becoming aware of self. You're becoming aware of what you're about, what you need, what you want. And you're moving towards that place. So as long as you keep moving towards that place, you won't return back to the full bag of trauma from what you have been going into before. This is like a new stage for you. It's a new step. It's a very beautiful step as well. And well done for you for getting out of that relationship, for putting yourself first, and for believing in yourself to be able to do that, because that's not easy. When you're in an abusive relationship, it can be very difficult sometimes to get out of it. But you have achieved that. That is already a fantastically amazing step for you. It's a very big step as well. So you deserve to feel all the props and well done's to you. Pats on the backs and yeah, well done, well done. Gorgeous. Well done. Very nice. Hey, Medits. I never know how to say this name. I remember your name, yeah. I don't know you, but I remember seeing your name one of the days that I was on. Gorgeous. You're doing an amazing job. Well done, yeah. Well done. Well done. I feel very proud of you. Look, I didn't open it. It just opened and it was an ace, which is kind of where you are between the 9 and the ace. You're in this moment of change, rebirth. Beautiful. Love it. Love it. I love it when rebirths happen. Rebirths are not comfortable. They're not comfortable at all because it feels like everything is kind of falling apart, or that you don't really know yourself. And that for me is the great thing about it, because it's like you get the opportunity to get to know yourself, and that's a good thing. No, we enjoy getting to know other people, but we don't necessarily enjoy getting to know ourselves, or we just feel we know ourselves. So because we know ourselves, you don't need to get to know yourself. But we're always changing. We're never the same person. I've changed so many times. I'm always having to get to know who I am, because not last week, but there's certain times that it's like I'll do something that I've never done before. I'll say something. Wow, was that me? Wow. And I know that moment of the action took a lot of time of the inner actions to create that action, the physical action. It took a long time to create the inner dialogue, inner emotions, all of it, to get me to the point of the actual action. So when I actually do the action, I say, whoa, check me out. Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. You're welcome, gorgeous. You're welcome. Good morning, Carol. I'm happy you're smiling. All right, anybody else would like a reading? I am here to do readings. Let me drink a little bit of water before it's gone coarse, although I like the sound of it. Spending time with self is sacred. It leads to self-awareness, realization, and evolution. Yeah, awareness is the first step to change. Awareness is everything. It's really everything. You can't go anywhere without it. Carol, I am with you. What? Carol. 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 My attention has been drawn to something. I'm like, what's going on here? Let's take it out and have a look. This is what my attention has been drawn to. I have it in my little bowl with stuff. My phone charger, some candles, my lighter for the candles, my adapter, and then it's got this in there. It's got two of these actually, but this was the one that was catching my eye. This is actually the one that someone gave me when we were moving from where we used to live. Someone gave me this. There's a lady that's into Reiki and all of that kind of stuff. Feng Shui and all of that. And it had a red string. It broke, but it had a red string that you were meant to hang it as you walked in a doorway in the corner, and it was meant to bring in positive energy into the house. The fact that my attention, I keep seeing the rainbow. The fact that this got my attention, and now I'm talking about this Feng Shui thing, I'm feeling like the energy needs to be moved. It feels like, it's like, you know, when you have your house in the same way for very long, it can start feeling quite heavy. This feels like there needs to be some kind of movement, a sofa moving, a cupboard moving, something moving in your space to create a different energy in that space. It's like it feels like it needs to be broken up. Hey, Horizon. Yeah, no problem. And I also felt, because when I first saw it, it was like, oh, she's a seer. So I feel like you see things. You have maybe a very vivid imagination, or you have vivid dreams. I don't know. I feel, because it's like a crystal ball, isn't it? It's not. It is a crystal ball, but it's not a crystal ball. It's not a crystal ball that you look into and sit where you could. Yeah, I'm having discussions with myself in front of you guys. Don't worry about me. I feel like you see things, Carol. All right, so let's see what the messages say for you. Yeah, I feel like you see things, and I'm feeling like I'm going back. It's like the two messages came together. This changing rooms around, changing the energy in the house. Seeing things. I feel like you're in a moment that you're not necessarily as connected as you would normally be. You know, there are sometimes, I'll give you an example, when it's a full moon, especially when it's a full moon and I'm on, it's like, it's magic. There's no other time that my month is like that. It is magic. It's like, I can speak something and it just happens. It literally is magic. And let's say 2 weeks later, that whole thing is not there. It's just at the specific time, that whole thing isn't there. And I can look at myself and think, God, you're really rubbish today. You don't know anything. It's like, it's like a completely different person. The power the magic, the power that's there at this time is not always there. And maybe I feel that that's what message is for you, that you're having a moment that you're not feeling particularly powerful, and it is to change the energy so that you can reconnect to your power, because you do feel very powerful, Carol. Carol, may this reading be for the highest good of Carol. May you receive the information you need and may you be open to receiving it. All right, Carol. So we've got the Jack, which we can see. I can't see what this one is, but let's do this one first. The Jack of Spades. The Jack of Spades is a message around it's a message of know your worth. Sorry, something caught my eye on it. It made me smile. This little thing here, it looks like an 8. It looks like the infinite sign. Infinite? Infinite, that's the word, isn't it? It looks like the infinity, the infinity sign. And he's holding it in his hand. It was really nice. Yeah, so the Jack is somebody that has grown up in an environment that criticized a lot. They didn't offer a lot of praise. So what happens is you grow up and I'm never going to treat anybody like that again. No one will ever feel like that because of me. So you become this shining light in everybody's life. It's like you will always praise other people. You'll help other people to feel really good about themselves. You're a cheerleader. You're an inspiration to other people. You're very kind. That's the biggest thing about you, your kindness. The Jack is, for me, the kindest person. You give with no expectation. The message for the Jack, though, is know your worth. So the Jack is somebody that shines their light on everybody outside of themselves, but what they do to themselves is bully themselves. So that's what this tells me that you experience. You experience a bullying to self. This infinite 8 that I'm seeing, I feel like there's a manifestation coming for you that is going to shift this perspective of yourself. Because the Jack is somebody that doesn't believe it's enough, doesn't believe that they give enough, doesn't believe that they're worthy enough, doesn't believe that they're deserving enough. That it's like somebody could tell you how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, but you will struggle to receive that. Somebody can want to give you a gift. You struggle to receive that because you know, I'm all right. Give it to somebody that needs it. But no one's saying that you need it, but this is what somebody wants to do for you, but you will struggle with that. So that's part of your journey. Learning to offer yourself and to be able to receive in the same way that you give, because you are very generous. Something that I've taught myself with the Jack is I had to have quite a lot of conversations about the Jack, because the Jack was one of my dominant places to be in the Jack. So one of the things was I had to start questioning the way that I spoke to myself. I had to question the inner bully. The inner bully told me constantly, all day, every day, how rubbish I was, how stupid I am, how crappy a mother I am, how crappy a wife I am, and all of the worst things about me that are not actually me. They're just ideas, but they're not actually truths. So I had to sit with them and come to that understanding. But when you're just hearing it constantly being bombarded on you, it's something that you believe. It's something that you hold into yourself, and you believe that you're not good enough. This is about you questioning that now. What I did was, I did it for about a month. When I heard I'm stupid or I'm rubbish, I just kept questioning it and talking back to myself. If I heard I'm rubbish, then I'm amazing. I'm really amazing. I'm actually great. You're stupid. I'm really intelligent. I am actually a really intelligent person. And what's really interesting is I can say these things and I'm not lying to myself, because sometimes I did have to lie to myself to make myself believe something. But you'll find that even if you think that you're not better than other people, that doesn't mean that you're stupid. If I compare myself to other people, maybe I'll say, no, but I mean, I didn't finish school. I didn't do well in anything. I didn't go to university. So I feel stupid. But that doesn't mean I am stupid. Do you understand? So I feel like this is something like you have been giving yourself a lot of negative chatter, and the Jack is offering, especially from spirit as well, because it is the spades, that you start to perceive yourself through different eyes. Start to perceive yourself through the eyes of how you would perceive other people, because you don't perceive anybody else in the way you're perceiving yourself. You would never talk to somebody else in the way that you talk to yourself. You wouldn't ever bully anybody the way that you bully yourself. So this is about you really making yourself part of a world that you're willing to nurture and not just ignore and say, yeah, but this is who I am and this is what I'm about. No, it's not. It's just that you've repeated it so often that it became a belief, but it's not a truth. So start repeating other things to yourself and create them to become your truth, because your old truth is not the truth. It's definitely not the truth. The Jack is a beautiful person. That will never be taken away from you. The other thing with the Jack, I started to counteract the inner bully. What was the other thing? I've done a few things actually. There's an audio on my channel. I created that for the Jack within myself. It's an audio about, you place your hands in the different chakra areas and it promotes them different chakras. The affirmations that you're using are very relevant to those particular chakras. When I did this, listening to it, I did it for like 4 days, morning and night. And I became really resistant to it. I was so angry listening to it. And I was like, what the hell is going on here? Because, I mean, I'm saying lots of nice things about myself. I should be feeling happy. But I felt mad. I actually had to stop it and have a conversation with, hey, what's going on here? What is going on? And it was this feeling of, I was feeling bullied. It was like, the affirmations are always I know. And it was like there were all these parts of myself at that time that didn't feel like they were being included in this I. So I changed I to a we, and I became a we. We are amazing. We are beautiful. We are whatever the affirmations are. But that allowed me to get through the other days, changing it from I to we, because when you've got a really rampant inner bully, the I is difficult to deal with, because the I doesn't believe anything about itself to be good. So when you're listening to it, no part of that I, when you've got a rampant inner bully, understands what you're saying. It's all really resistant towards what you're saying because it doesn't believe it. But when you use we, there are all these other parts of you that are included in that we, and it's no longer your inner bully that's dominant, but all of you becomes dominant. That's what created a difference towards listening for me. And the last thing was, which is really important, and I've mentioned this to a few people now, especially when I'm out. When you offer someone something, whatever it is that you offer them, you feel really good in offering them it. Your heart expands and you feel really happy. It makes you happy. So I want you to think of when someone gives you something, that feeling that you give, that feeling that you have when you're happy giving to somebody else, focus on that feeling when somebody is given to you, because you're creating that feeling in them by you accepting and appreciating what they are giving you. You're allowing them to experience that same beautifulness of giving. When you refuse, then you're not, it's like for you, no, but they probably need it more than you. It's not the point. They are offering you a piece of them, a piece of their heart, a piece of their love. And when you're refusing it, for whatever reason you're refusing it, it means that you're not giving them that satisfaction of connecting to, or giving, of having that joy of giving. That was something that really changed within me, that ability to see them as myself. That really helped. And then we have the 5. The 5 of clubs, personal growth message. So the 5 is a message of balance. Carol, I've just got shown something. What I feel like is happening for you is that you made a decision and now you're struggling with the decision that you made, because this has 4 spades on it. You're struggling with the decision you made. You're feeling doubtful about it. And I feel that's because of the Jack, because of your worth, because am I good enough? Can I do this? Is this going to work? I feel like you're struggling because you're not sure about yourself after making this decision. So you are being guided to balance with the 5. I also feel with the 5 that you made the decision, it's with all of it really, the 2 of them together are speaking a lot. You made this decision, but you're struggling with the decision, inner beliefs about the decision, insecurities about the decision that you made. But you continued to walk towards this decision, whatever that was. And you got to the number 7. The number 7 is that you took action. This is a personal growth message. So it will be something to do with within you. The action doesn't have to be something within you. It could have been something external. But you're receiving a lot of lessons at the moment from this, because this is a personal growth. There's something going on within you that's changing. So the 7 is perseverance and patience. It's somebody that has put a lot of work into creating something, but they don't have the patience. So I feel you took the action. You're not necessarily trusting in the action, but you continued. You decided to put the work in and do the work that you needed to do, but you're still not trusting in the decision. You're not trusting in the work that you've done. You're not trusting that you're enough to be able to receive the manifestation. And the Jack is showing you the manifestation. This is the infinite sign, which is an 8 for me. It looks like an 8. So I'm seeing it as an 8. I saw it from the beginning as well. That's really nice. So it's like, so there's this frustration that's happening at the moment because you're not seeing the results of what you're expecting to see from the actions that you've taken. And your inner bully is rampant because it's like, I told you couldn't do this. I told you weren't good enough. I told you, I don't know who you thought you were trying to do this. I don't know why you thought anything would be different to what it was before. I don't know what you think is you can do, but you can't do jack. You're just rubbish. It's like it will be bombarding you. The 5 is to get you out of that, bring you back to patience. The 5 is taking yourself into nature, balancing yourself in whichever way that means to you. We're all so different. We all have our own different ways of bringing ourselves to a peace. I go for my walks in the morning, that brings me my peace. I go to sit by the beach, it brings me my peace. There's different things that we can do now. Listening to music, singing, dancing, being creative, and that's in whichever way you feel creative. Some people knit and it gives them that space because they don't need to think, they're just doing. And that's where you generally find that space, that you're doing something but you're not having to think about what you're doing. It leaves a space inside of you to be able to really connect to self and to nurture self in that moment, and to bring in feelings of love and confidence, what the Jack lacks, and balance and peace and gratitude and patience. And trust. Yeah. It's very nice. You're going through this very interesting little moment of change. Very interesting little moment of change. And I do feel that it's a big moment for you around how you view yourself and how you deal with yourself when you're speaking to yourself in a negative way. Yeah. Very nice. Carol, isn't it? Carol. Thank you, Chris, for coming. Nice to see you too. To see you nice. Que será? Your body got old, tired. Yeah. You're welcome, Carol. Very welcome. Hey, Devaya. Hey, Name here. It sounds lovely in the background. It's the chime. The chime. My friend bought me this chime. She bought it for my birthday last year, actually. Last year, maybe even the year before, because last year she got me a book. So I think it was the year before. And I had it in a box, and then I was going through my cupboards, clearing out, tidying up, and I saw it, and I thought, why didn't I put this up? What stopped me from putting it up? And I just didn't have anywhere to put it. I didn't know where to put it, so I didn't bother. But then because I was clearing out the cupboards, I was like, I'm going to put it somewhere. I'll find somewhere. When there's a will, there's a way. So I found somewhere to put it, and it's so windy. We've had some very, very windy days. So you can hear it in the background. It's really nice. A nice chime. It's got like chakra crystals down the middle. It's very pretty. All right, Horizon, I am with you. I need to drink some water. My water's actually finished. Horizon. 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 You love wind. I don't love wind so much. I like it when I'm not in it. That's when I like it. When I'm not in it. When I'm in it, and when it's a warm breeze, that is nice as well. When it's a warm breeze, but when it's cold, it gets in everywhere. Oh, don't like that. Horizon, 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 horizon. Let's get calabash for you, horizon. Horizon. Horizon, I've got this interesting feeling. I feel like Earth is hugging you. That's nice. 555 here. Cool. 555. Nice. I've got this feeling. It's like that's interesting. I've got this video on on YouTube. It's just it's a nothingness video. It's just one meditation music just to keep my computer on. And it's on 5-5. There's actually 4 5s between the time that it's on and the time that the amount of time that the video is and the amount of time that it's already played. There's 4 5s. Yeah, I've got this feeling, Horizon. I feel like this is what's happening for me at the moment. I feel like it's like I'm not able to speak, like I'm not able to express myself. There's something I want to say, but it's like it's not necessarily received well. People don't want to hear it. It's not like a problem with what you're saying. It's like a problem with how it's received. That's what it feels like. So because of maybe a fear, a worry of how you're perceived, you don't necessarily speak what you think, but you feel like somebody that has, what's the word? I don't even know that there's a word. You feel like somebody that, you know, when there's some people that speak and they talk a lot, but they have nothing to say. And there's some people that don't speak a lot, but they speak volumes in the little that they do speak. You feel like somebody like that you don't have to say a lot to, you hate disappointing people. You don't have to say a lot to have an impact. But you don't like disappointing people, but in the process of not wanting to disappoint people, there will be disappointment of yourself. Because if you're not able to express yourself clearly and honestly, because you're worried about disappointing other people, that means that you're not giving yourself what you need because of worrying about other people. This is a queen energy. You're a queen energy. The queen energy for me is somebody that was raised in an environment that would have felt like you needed more attention. Not necessarily that there was neglect, but the person that experiences the queen, which you feel like to me, feels like they were neglected, feels like they didn't have enough time, they didn't have enough attention, not enough was given to them. So, and it's not about whether somebody loved you or didn't love you. It's nothing to do with that. Because, I mean, you can have 2 parents that love you a lot, but they spend all their time working. They spend all their time working thinking they're doing the best thing for you to be able to give you what you need. But as children, sometimes you just want them. Not everything that comes with them, but just them. So it's that kind of thing. And the queen grows up becoming the carer, because the way that she finds her place within the family is to care. She realizes that she's generally in the way, but if she's useful, then she's not in the way. So you found a way to be useful, and you started caring for the people around you, looking after the people around you. So what happens with the queen is that she grows up being this carer, but she also, which is a beautiful thing, caring for other people, having empathy and compassion for other people is beautiful. Well done you for becoming that through your experiences. The thing about the queen, though, is that she doesn't give to herself. She doesn't care for herself. She doesn't, because she needs to feel acknowledged by other people. She needs to feel validated by other people. She needs to feel liked by other people. She's always doing for other people, always caring for other people, and puts herself kind of in the corner. And this is like, babe, don't belong in the corner. Dirty Dancing just come out. Yeah, so it's like you now come into an understanding that it's not about whether other people like you. It's about whether you like you. Because the most important person in your life is you. So you not liking you stops you from being able to be true to you. It keeps you needing other people to tell you how good you are to feel good when you are the queen. It's like the queen doesn't need anybody to make her feel good. She is good. But what happens with the queen as well? Generally, she's quite high vibration. Yeah. She's quite high vibration generally, and that is because she is the carer. Whatever you said that you cared for your parents, but even away from your parents, your job is still likely to care for people. Whatever the job is, you're still likely to be a carer, a teacher, a carer. You were quiet. Yeah, the quiet makes sense. You quiet and out the way, but useful. That's the queen. She doesn't need, she doesn't like walk around with bells to get attention. She's not an attention seeker, but she does need attention to feel validated. But she isn't an attention seeker until what happens sometimes, which is not sometimes, the queen in high vibration, she feels amazing. She listens to music, she sings, she dances, she looks after everybody. She's just happy doing what she's doing and looking after people. But when an insecurity comes up, and an insecurity is very likely to be up, that we're having this conversation. So when an insecurity comes up, the insecurity can come from anything, and I mean anything. When I look at myself and the insecurities, it's just amazing that they are amazing. And I'm going to give you an example of how an insecurity can come up, because sometimes I think that we think that these big things need to happen, or you need to, it's like someone needed to try and steal your man or something in front of you for you to have validation. But I'm going to give you this example to show you just how insecure. I've seen your message, Astha. So one day I was sitting on my veranda and I've seen your message. I've seen it. And my husband tells me, I need to cut the garden. I need to cut the bushes in the garden because they're going into the neighbor's garden. And I was like, yeah, wow, that's really nice. And at that moment, it was really nice. I was like, I've got this amazing man. He's so thoughtful. He's thinking of, I wouldn't even think of that. And then my mind went to, as soon as it went to, I wouldn't think of that, this negative part started speaking. I wouldn't think of that. I would never think of that. He must be so nice, and I can't be nice if I wouldn't have thought of that. That means that I'm not a nice person. That means I'm a horrible person. Why is he with me? Why? And then I realized that it was like I was listening to myself. So it was like this moment of wow. It was seeing I think of everything like a 6, the number 6. I think of it always as this duality, because everything is a duality. And it was like, and then I went back to that my husband is an amazing man. He's a very, very kind man. He's very nice. And I'm very appreciative of him being my man. But it made me realize that this other side has a lot of issues and if I'd stayed there in the, wow, I don't deserve him. He's too kind. I'm not worthy of him. If I'd stayed in that place, what would have happened was for a couple of weeks, I would have been mad. And mad, it's like there's an anger inside of you from this insecurity. And then let's say I come into the kitchen on a normal day, I'd wash up the dishes that are there and it's not a problem. It's part of a job. No, it's part of being a parent, part of having a family. But on one of these days that there's this insecurity around, it's like explosions happen because this insecurity is running rampant through me. So I'll come into the kitchen and it will be like, what the hell is going on? Am I the only one that can wash up? What is this? And you start feeling like you're being taken advantage of and people are using you. But the thing is that it's not that anybody's taking advantage of you or using you. It's that you are the person that always does everything. So that's the expectation that everybody has. And it's only when you are not giving yourself the time or the space to deal with yourself that you'll get into that energy. So what I started doing when I started noticing the insecurity at the time that it was coming, because there was a certain time that a couple of weeks after I'd still not know. It would just be there, and that was that. It didn't make a difference to my life. It's how I'd been always, and that was all right. But it got to a certain point that it wasn't all right. So I started paying more attention and became aware of my insecurities, became aware of the noises that happen after something has happened, regardless of whether it's a big or simple thing that's happened. Started listening to what my mind wanted to dictate and observed it rather than running along with it, because running along with it was what I'd always done, but it wasn't helpful. So I became an observer to these insecurities, to be able to help myself understand the insecurities and what it was that I was needing. And what I was needing was the validation to make myself feel good enough, to know that I was the queen, to feel like I'm the queen and that I am appreciated. And the way to do that was to appreciate myself. If I did something, appreciate what I had done. If the people around me did something, appreciate what they had done, and know that it wasn't a reflection of them looking down on me. So there's a lot of things that come up with the queen. I'm just giving you a couple of the general idea of it. Yeah, you do that, but you never thought you had an insecurity because you never really thought about it. Exactly. And I didn't. Like I explained, I for a long time I was reacting, and I didn't realize why I was reacting in this way until I actually looked at myself to understand why I'm reacting in this way. And it's for me, it's always been an insecurity, and I see it. And if you really connect to yourself and you're honest with yourself, you'll see it as well. I focus on myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm missing out, but then realize being myself is enough. Being yourself is... The message for the queen is you have all you need. So it's basically telling you that you are enough, that you have everything. It's all at your fingertips, and it's just you believing that you're enough without feeling like you need somebody else to validate you. Yeah, you'll get there though. Let's see what the Calabash messages say. Horizon, may this reading be for the highest good of Horizon. May you receive the information you need. May you be open to receiving it. All right, let's see what these have to say. See how they can help Horizon. Makes a lot of sense. The giraffe, the protector. Makes a lot of sense to be in the queen. A couple of times I've jumped in, I've said things that are the jack as well. So I feel like you're generally a light worker. You're somebody that shines, gives light to other people. You just haven't necessarily given that to yourself before because it's not how you trained yourself. Like I said, you trained yourself to be useful to other people. And you're still doing that. You're working from that place of I need to be useful to other people. But you are useful to other people just being you without doing anything for them. Just what you offer from your essence. It's doing a lot. The protector. The giraffe, the protector, is somebody that looks after people, that cares for other people, and that wants to... It's the carer. It is the... I've explained the queen. The queen is the protector. We have Delia. Travels. Ooh. Delia could be that you're from an island. It could be. it means that for me as well. But if you're not from an island, then travels. There are some travels on your journey. The tortoise, easy going. Easy going. We have the name Justin. Heart closed off to love. It's not anything to do with the name. That's just what the name means to me. That, yeah. We have the Queen is a number 1. This is the Joker, which is also a number 1. The Joker is somebody that likes to be in control. It's not somebody that likes to be in control. I lie. It's somebody that is controlling. In control is when you're in control of yourself. The Joker is in control of self. The controlling is when you're not feeling in control of yourself. And then that's when you have these explosions because you feel like people are taking advantage of you, using you, abusing you, whatever it is. But that's when you don't have control. When these emotions come out, you're wanting to control the world around you rather than you. And the world around you, like I said, hasn't actually changed. People are doing the same thing they always do. It's that you're in a different energy and you're receiving it differently. So when you have them moments that you're wanting a lot of control, really sit with yourself because there is an insecurity that's happening and it is wanting control of you. So look at it, look at yourself, connect to that. You might not always know what the insecurity is because I haven't always known what the insecurity is. It's taken a lot of practice to really see myself, honestly, to really be able to connect to. You have to be really honest as well. And that's something that we're not generally with ourselves. You have to be really honest with yourself. And this is for you. It's about you. So it's only about you. You don't have to share anything that you come to an acknowledgement of with anybody. It's only about you. So being honest with yourself will get you very far. So what is this message saying? I feel like you have some travels coming up. I feel like for some reason, although it's telling me heart closed off to love, I feel like there's someone coming into your life. I don't know if you have someone horizon, but it's feeling like there's someone that's going to come into your life. The easygoing, it's like you go on holiday. Well, this giraffe, the protector for me, feels like you are the Joker reminds you of pure madness. Pure madness. The protector, I feel like, is the protection around you. You are protected. The travels, I feel like you are going somewhere that you relax, you let go a bit, you give yourself a bit more of what you need rather than always looking out for everybody else. One of the other things that the Queen doesn't know how to do is say no. So maybe that's one of your lessons at the moment as well, learning how to say no. So that you learn how to relax a bit, you're a bit more flowy with your energy, that it allows you to open your heart. And I feel like there's someone coming in. And I don't know why that's, because there's nothing here that's really saying that. But it's a feeling. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. And then what's going to happen, Horizon, is you're going to want to control what's going on. But remember the tortoise of easy going and flow. Easy going and flow. Steady by steady, or one step at a time. One step at a time gets you there. And maybe this meeting that I'm feeling, maybe it's with yourself. Maybe it's simply that you just encounter this part of yourself that has all of this love, and you're more willing to listen to it than you have before. And I don't mean love towards others, because that you're very good at. It's the love towards self you're not so good at. So maybe this is about you just really connecting to yourself and learning to love yourself as much as you love others. And that is what is opening up. It's interesting. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. That's nice. When I say my truth, sometimes it seems that people don't listen, only when I do something from them. You're Australian. When you say your truth, sometimes it seems that people don't listen, only when you do something for them. That's for them, isn't it? It was meant to say. Not everybody is open to hearing your truth. Not everybody will hear your truth. Not everybody is meant to hear your truth. Your truth is your truth. Whoever is attracted to your truth will come on your path and they will experience your truth. But it's not your job to force anybody to understand your truth. It's not your job to make anybody believe your truth. Your truth is your truth. We're all different. Truth is subjective to everybody, because I mean, it really is. We all have different perceptions. My perception could be very different to your perception. We see something in a very different way. That don't mean that what we're experiencing is not truths. You have your truth, I have mine. They're both truths. So wanting somebody else to understand your truth or to listen to your truth, and feeling that your truth is not valid because they're not listening, it's not about whether they're listening. You speak your truths. They are true to you. They are who you are. They are what are emanating from you, because that's what you're here to share and give to people. If people aren't ready to hear that, then that's their journey. It's nothing to do with you. You can only be you. You're wanting to be somebody that kind of helps everybody and everybody feels good around, but that's not always going to be the case. I'll give you an example. You feel very similar to me, Horizon, and one of the things that I was a lot like you. I want people to like me. I don't care anymore, because I taught myself not to care. It's taken a long time, yeah, a lot of work, but I've gotten there. It's like we can want people to like us, but that doesn't mean people will like you. And if I'm having to be somebody that I'm not happy with for somebody to like me, then I'm making them happy, but I'm making myself sad. How does that work? If I'm making myself sad and I'm depriving myself of something that I need, it means that I can't be the light that I am to other people, because I'm not shining that light. That light would then be dampened because of how I'm feeling and the frequency of what I'm experiencing. Everything would feel heavy. Accepting people how they are is great, but that doesn't mean that it changes your truth. No? I'll give you another example. My husband is not really into cards, things like this. He's a spiritual person, but he's not spiritual in the same way I am. Is it a problem? Not really. If I want to talk to somebody about the things that I do, I call the people that are interested in the things that I do. If I'm going to put myself around him, and I want to have all these deep conversations that I know he is just not going to be able to keep up with or understand, he's just not interested sometimes, then I would feel invalidated, because it's like, yeah, but you don't want to listen to me. You don't want to hear about my things. No, but he's not the person to share these things with. So why would I put him in that position? Do you get me? It's like putting him in a position that he cannot fulfill what I'm wanting. That doesn't make sense. So what you've got to share is relevant. but it's not going to be relevant to everybody. So you have your family, and they might not like some of the things that you say. That's fine. That doesn't mean that you have to stop saying them. And it doesn't mean that you have to stop talking to your family. It doesn't mean that you have to change who you are. Maybe you just don't have conversations about the things that you know are creating conflicts because they're not in that place. But it doesn't mean that you can't be yourself. Do you get me, Horizon? And vulnerability as well is one of the ones that most people struggle with. No, being vulnerable and letting go, which was the heart for you, wasn't it? Having a closed heart and being able to open it. Vulnerability is very difficult, but vulnerability is also how we, my understanding, yeah, how we connect to people. When people are being vulnerable, that's the authenticity that you see from people. That's the love, the caring, the kindness, even if it's in anger or sadness, it's authenticity. It's what their expression at that moment in their truth. Being able to share with somebody yourself. I'm having discussions in my own mind as I'm talking. Sorry. I was thinking to myself, when I first started reading, I typed all of my readings. But after a while, I realized that I was being shown that I'm going to be talking. But I didn't talk. I was somebody that never spoke to. I did speak to people, but I didn't really speak to people I didn't know. I would never have stood up in front of people and spoken to a lot of people. I didn't even speak at my own wedding because it was, it was like, I'm not speaking. I wanted to, but I just didn't have that power at that. I had the power, I just didn't know I had it. So it was like something that it was an impossible thing for me to do. But one day I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And I did it. I started reading on Facebook. I did Facebook Lives. And I mean, it was an extremely vulnerable situation that I'd put myself in, because it was myself that put myself in the position. But it was a really necessary position to put myself in to be able to create something different. And if we're always comfortable and we're always where we don't have fear and everything is always okay, then that's okay. But it's not really where anybody wants to be, because everybody wants more. Everybody wants to be happier. Everybody wants to be richer. Everybody wants to be, I don't know, in better relationships, in whatever it is. There's always a more that we want, because we're here to expand. So there will be moments that you do have to, not you do have to, that you will be in vulnerable positions, and generally there will be positions of transition as you're changing, as you're moving into something different. And I feel for you that you're moving into somewhere that you're allowing other people in now. You're allowing to look at yourself in a different way to what you had before. It's very nice. Your reading is a lot of growth. There's a lot of working on self, not necessarily an understanding of self, but a working on self. And a working on self is the beginning, because you have to look at yourself. And I feel that that's something that you are willing to do, because when I had mentioned about how the Queen responds with the explosion, you had said you do that. So it's something that you've seen within yourself. You're not denying that. You're not resistant towards that, which is excellent. Because, I mean, there will be certain times if somebody had told me that, that's not how I am, and just leave me alone, go away. I don't know who you think you are, like you know me. Yeah, because that's where you are sometimes with the queen. Well, just in energy. But you are not that. You are doing a lot of work to change yourself. You're doing a lot of work to bring in a different energy for yourself. And it feels like that. Feels like a breath of fresh air. A breath of fresh air. Yeah, your biggest thing, Horizon, is needing the validation. You say what you want to say and feel good about what you say. It's not about upsetting people by what you say. So it's not about putting other people down or anything like that. I don't think that you do that anyway because you're the queen, the carer. It's just not who you are. But you are an amazing person for being the person you are. Not because you care for people, not because you do this for that one and that for that one and you care so much for that one, and it's nothing to do with it. It's just because of you and the light that you shine from being you. Yeah, you're doing a very good job, Horizon. Just have more patience with yourself as you go through what you're experiencing. And like I said, be an objective bystander to yourself. Be objective. And you're not always going to be objective. There will be battles, inner battles with yourself, which makes sense because that's part of the change. You have to have these discussions. It's a really interesting thing when we're dealing with ourselves. I finished readings for today, guys. It's a really interesting thing when we're dealing with ourselves. When we have somebody in front of us and you're able to argue with that person, you will argue with that person. But when you're with yourself, well, if you're a bit confrontational in any way, but if you're arguing with yourself, it's like depending on your energy, but if you're in a low vibration, the bully is going to be quite dominant. And it's going to give you all of these things, and then we just sit there and listen to it, and we're not questioning it. Why? But that's not who I am. It's only when I started listening to these things about myself that I really questioned, but what is this? What is this that I'm hearing? What? And that's when I actually opened myself up to listen. So without the listening, that voice was always there. It was always telling me all of these things, but until you actually listen to it, you just don't hear how ridiculous it is sometimes. And the very first day that I heard it, I had been given a task by the universe. It had told me to write down who I am. Who am I, sorry. So I wrote down who am I, and I just allowed whatever to come out of me. But there was resistance. I heard things like, this was the very first time I did it, you're a crap mother and you're a crap wife. And I'm sitting there thinking, but I know I'm not. And why am I hearing this? And I'm not writing that because I disagree with it 100%. I'm not writing it. And I had this big battle with myself of adamance, a rebel. I am not writing this because I disagree with it 100%. And then it was like, well, if part of me is expressing this, then part of me has these ideas. Part of me has these beliefs. So don't discard them so quickly and really pay attention to what these beliefs are that are being shown to you. Because the only way that I'm ever going to overcome these beliefs is by being able to see them. If I can't see them, how do I overcome them? So I decided I'm not going to fight. I will just write and write and write. And I wrote a page out of information. I think I actually wrote it on my phone. And I wrote, and when I looked back at it, it was really interesting because, no, I wrote it on paper, actually. I need to find that piece of paper. I need to find it. I wrote, And on that piece of paper was quite a few different handwritings. It's all me that wrote it, but there were quite a few different handwritings. I think about 3 or 4 different handwritings. And very clear, different tones, different energy to what was being said. It was very interesting. So it highlighted to me these different versions of myself, and the beliefs of these different versions of myself helped me to understand my ego, and the ego are these different versions of myself, because ego is self. And it was a very interesting experience. So as part of your journey horizon, that would be part of my advice to you, to write down, who am I? And to really take a look at yourself. And because you feel like you're so much on this personal development of yourself, I'll also share, there's a book, it's part of my, it's on the links in my pinned comments. It's a book that I've written myself. It's based on these cards. Look, Joker. The Joker showed itself. It's based on these cards, and it's from when I received these cards. They were also a message from the universe, and I received them. And basically what they taught me, it was very simple at that time, because this is like 2 years ago I published this book. So maybe 3 years ago I received this information and then wrote this book. So it's a lot more basic than where I am now, but that's kind of a good thing, because it shows where my mind was then. It was, yeah, it's a lot more simplified than where I am now. So it has stories. You have, excellent. It has stories, lessons, and tools. So it has the stories of what I experienced through each number. So 1 would be 1 and 10. 2 would be 2, 11, 20. 3 is 3, 12, 21, 30. You get the idea. So I went through my whole life and created or wrote down the memories that came from these ages, and that is what created the understanding, really. It's not what created them, because it came through me, but the understanding of them is from my own life, through my own understandings of myself, through my own understandings of my own insecurities. And it explains, like I said, the stories, the lessons that I learned from the stories, and the tools that I have used to be able to overcome myself, to overcome the voices, the negative chatter that can go on within ourselves. So if you're interested, take a look at that, because it is a great book. I've read it a few times myself, even though it's my own stories. It helps. It's something that reminds me, yes, we're experiencing everything for a reason, and these are the ways of helping ourselves through it. So it's a great book, even if I do say so myself. It is a great book. Yeah, like I said, if you feel interested, then take a look. I will be off now. Thank you, everybody, for coming to visit. Adriana, it's been lovely to have you sitting here listening. Horizon, you're doing an amazing job. I feel so proud of you, Horizon. And through your experiences, I'm sure this book will be absolutely amazing, or your artistic outlet in whichever way that is for you. Poems come to mind. I was like, oh, she's going to write poems. Yeah, really? It was like a pop in and then it disappeared. I don't know. But I'm just telling you what come to mind. All right, so take care of yourselves, everybody. I will be back on Wednesday and Friday, 1 p.m. CET. Tomorrow, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I upload pick a card readings. So please subscribe so that you can receive new uploaded videos. And have a wonderful day, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. It has been a joy to be here and connect with your wonderful light energies. Very beautiful. Take care. Bye.